beautiful people? Please excuse my camera. I am Mrs. Best. Welcome to the channel. Let's welcome in James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews.
Hi. Hey, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Please do, please do. Also, please see the link in the description of this video. That is how you can easily subscribe to James's channel, the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. I also have playlists on the channel titled Watch Your Mouth Reviews Collab. So you can find all of the videos that we do on James's channel are all there. But it's easier just to go to his channel and subscribe. It's much easier. We will also have things to come at some point this year, new that we are excited about and working on. We will tell you more when the time is right. But for now, we're going to go over 90 Day Fiance. Before the 90 days, if you having this many problems before the 90 days and the visa, then you just don't need to be with the person that you with. That's just my honest to God opinion. And I wanted to say also for a moment that I do appreciate the people. There's not too many of you who are watching this these videos. This is a new show we're adding to the roster, so I sincerely appreciate you guys. We will also go over at the end of the video updates on new shows, because I have a bunch of new shows and shows that are also coming back from winter break that are going to come. Me and James talked about this earlier in the year. Like, we both were struggling for shows at one point, and then they all came back at the same time. So there is that. But let's get into 90 Day. This episode was titled Nearest Exit May Be Behind You. We're going to start with Forrest and Sheena. Now, Forrest and Sheena are in the Philippines. They're there with his mom. Her family's been a point of contention, but they're currently shopping. I thought we would see some issues because the last time we saw them, Molly was not happy and was putting her finger. No, wipe them tears and tell me what is going on with talking to Sheena. But now they've, dipped off. They're getting time alone, shopping for clothes. Now, Forrest said that he only came to the Philippines from Oregon. Now, for those who do not know, I can drive to Oregon. 8-hour drive. I can drive to Oregon. It's not far. It shares a border with California. Why, sir, would you travel to get to the Philippines? Is 27 to 33 hours from California. Why would you do that with a backpack? He said he had a couple pairs of drawers and some t-shirts. Now, you're dating a woman in the Philippines, and while you may be with a larger woman, and ain't nothing wrong with it, the people are generally much smaller. Like, you're not always going to find 6 foot something men, 5'4" men. Hell, as Sheena said, most of the men are 5'2" and small. That's just how it is. And so when shopping for clothes, because Forrest was told by Sheena, Philippines is so cheap, you could buy clothes out here. So he listened to that, but he couldn't fit nothing because he's 6'3" and big. So we then see them sit down and talk after their shopping, and he tells Sheena that she needs to cut off her family. They really need to work towards a goal of cutting off her family. And he says that he is going to be her backbone and her strength. And this is where Sheena, she did express some concern and some pause. Like, she doesn't want to cut off her family clearly, but I don't understand why she doesn't just say that. And she pauses and then tells him she wants to plan a meeting for Forrest and her family to meet, because she wants Forrest to show her family that he is a sincere person. And Forrest also learns from Sheena that in Filipino culture that they generally want to get the marriage approved by the parents. The parents have to okay the marriage, which is no different in some ways to American culture. Tradition says, if you know your daddy, that your spouse should go and ask for your father's hand in marriage if you are a female. It's something that happens. I got married unconventionally. I eloped, actually, but my husband did talk to my dad and my mama. He got permission from both to marry me. So, that's just a tradition she acknowledged. And she tells Forrest this, and he seems bothered. And I'm like, sir, if you would have found a lady where you're at, you would have had to do this. But the issue is Forrest doesn't feel like he needs to approve anything. And he feels like her parents approving the marriage will be difficult, especially when he refused to pay them to stay in their house, refuses to give money, and is having issues with Sheena because of that, which is fair. Before we go further and discuss the mom and the issue of that, how did you feel about the first part of it? Not so much the shopping, feel free to comment on it if you need, but more so like the situation with her just now telling him that he would need to get permission from the parents to marry her before she can ever leave her family to move to America. Like, how'd you feel about it?
I feel like that's something because they have been dating for 7 years. That's something that she should have told him from the beginning before he wasted his time and, really came out there. Because to me, I feel like, okay, it took y'all a long time to meet anyway. Shouldn't your parents already be under the impression that this man from America is coming here to pick you up so y'all can get married? Like, shouldn't they had already had this discussion? Maybe talk with them on the phone, maybe get some understanding, Zoom, FaceTime. None of that, like, because that's something that they could have done. I just think that there's something going on with these parents that she's not saying.
Mm-hmm. There's
And
obviously something she's hiding.
yeah, she's hiding something, and I can't, and y'all, I really can't put my finger on it. I can't really say what it could be, but it's like, to me, she's skating around a lot, and I need her to get clear on some things.
I actually agree with that. There's something she's not telling us, and we need to know what it is, Sheena. So the next thing we see with these two is Forrest is nervous because Sheena reveals to him that she doesn't want her mom to be there when he first meets her parents. Though Sheena's lying about something, I can understand it because Molly could be around them people, but why you taking your daughter's money? We supposed to. I could see Molly going off on her parents or kind of reading them for Phil. So I get that with Sheena, but it doesn't look good when Molly traveled across the world to meet your family. And because she called you out on your lie, now suddenly when you're finally alone with her child, you don't want her to be participate in meeting your family. Like, that looks rude. It looks rude. And it looks shady and it looks suspect. That's just my opinion. Do you feel that look weird?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
And it's like Americans are very vocal about the impact that scams have had from other countries, not just in the
Yep.
Philippines, Nigerian scams, Australian scams. There's all sorts of scams everywhere. And that's kind of why 90 Day Fiance is appealing and interesting, because we're like, who's really got love or who's just being used for a visa of some sort.
Right.
However, they meet with Molly and they're going to tell Molly about not wanting her there the first time that they meet the parents. And here's my thing. The way I would have handled it, because I have parents like Molly. I think James has parents like Molly, where if you allow them to be involved, they're going to state their opinion. And whether you like it or not, you're going to hear it.
Yep.
And they will act the fool over their child.
Yep.
Like, I don't deal with my mom, but I know she will act the fool over me. My dad, I'm very close to. I know for a fact he will act a fool about, for, over, all of that. So, and James's mom is very boisterous. If you play with him and she know about it, she gonna let you know.
Yep.
She gonna let you know. So I get that part from Molly. But here's what I feel like they should have done when you have parents like that.
Mm-hmm.
Go and meet her parents first, Forrest, and then take your mama to meet them and let her know I met them first, just to keep things calm, and then bring her. When you confront your mom with your girlfriend trying to look like a united front against your mama, who's there to help you and look out for you, who you complain about, that's problematic. You should have just done it and then went to her. But instead, they sit down and they tell Molly that they don't want her there at the first meeting. And then when Molly gets upset after that, they explain to her, but we want you there for the second day when we go around the family. Molly was not happy with that at all. And Forrest looked at his mama and he said, I'm not a child anymore. You're not going to fight me on this. I'm going to do what I do. I'm an adult. And I'm like, Forrest, when you have to say that to your parents and you can't tell your mom this without your woman there, you're not an adult. You have an adult's body, but you're acting like a child. And I don't want nobody coming on here who think they woke with no education telling me, oh, well, he's autistic and ADHD. Yes, he does. That means he struggles with certain things, but he is just as capable as any of us. He is just as smart as any of us. He just has to express himself a little bit differently, but he is just like the rest of us. He really is. So I don't understand why you say you want to be treated like an adult while acting like a child, and you couldn't even fly to the Philippines without your mama. Come on now, Forrest. Stop it. And then we have to remember Forrest has a history with another woman who I believe was also, no, she was in Indonesia.
Yes.
She was in Indonesia. So he's done this before and gotten played. So you can't get mad at somebody for wanting to have an opinion when they watched you go through this shit again. Like, I never understand why people do that. If you don't want nobody to know or give you their opinion, don't tell them about your relationship. It's really that simple.
Agreed.
It's that simple.
It's not that complicated. And as you said, he's gotten scammed before. So there should be a reason for valid concern. And I get you trying to be the man and show up in front of your little girlfriend, what you want to do, but that's not the time or the place. I do think that Molly does need to learn boundaries. I'm not saying that she doesn't, y'all, but hear me out. This is an extenuating circumstance. This is different than him meeting Jenny in the club and back home, and she stole her credit card so she can get to them. We can't get to this lady by a car. You know what I'm saying? The police can't go get this lady if she decides to scam him out of thousands and thousands of dollars. There's nothing they can do. So Molly has valid concerns. She does, and I feel like for me, for what's his name, Forrest, right? Yeah, Forrest. I think is just handling this because it's finally happening. It's finally real for him. So I think he's just handling it in excitement versus being logical.
Yeah. I don't think Forrest, I think that might be where he struggles as it relates to his ADHD, maybe with logic and things, because I get that he wants to stand by his female, but then when you're away from her and you're with your mom, we watched you on camera state your concerns. So can't get mad at your mom for trying to look out for you. But I was cracking up when Molly realized they weren't going to budge. She said, "Okay, Sheena, I'm going to make sure to behave and be polite." She said, "Molly, you know you ain't going to act right, but I respect her for giving it the college effort. I really do." Because Molly knew she wasn't going to act right. And Forrest looked at her and was like, "No, Mom, I know you. You're just looking for a way in. You go act a fool." So Molly eventually said, "Fuck it." And she said, "You know what? Fine." She said, "You know what? I think her parents are going to try to con you. They're going to snuffer you." I said, "Did she say snuffer?"
Snuffer.
She said, "You're going to get snuffered." I said, "Oh, Lord, not snuffered."
Yeah, snuffered.
But I think she had a moment that a lot of parents experience, especially moms of sons of any color and background. I don't know what it is with moms with sons, but they baby them more than a mom will baby her daughter. And dads with daughters will baby their daughters more than they will their sons. I don't understand it, but I saw Molly kind of on camera or not. I feel like she realized, all right, I'm not going to win this battle. He's going to have to learn on his own. And I think Molly is going to realize it, speak when spoken to, but sometimes you got to let them fall on their ass. There's a reason why birds just push the baby out the nest. Either you're going to fly or you're going to splat, but you got to figure it out. So I'm hoping that's what Molly is doing with him and he don't get snuffered. Did you want to add anything to these people before we move on?
No, we can move on.
Okay. They'll give us a lot, though. I'm curious about these parents. That's what I am curious about. Now, damn. So we have to discuss Lisa and Daniel. They are, I'm an adult. I am. I love my husband. I do. So she's flying to Nigeria. She's nervous. She gets to Nigeria. She lands. And the first thing she does is jet to the bathroom to comb her little haircut back. She put on her wig, got her makeup together. She did all the things that women do before they see their man. Why did you pull that wig cap down to your lips, Lisa? And then was trying to like rub it up versus just pulling from the... Lisa, grow your hair. If you can't grow your hair, call some of your black friends, because I know you got to have them if you're buying these wigs. Call one of them and ask about scalp fertilizer, ask about hair growth treatment, ask about something, because I feel like she's wearing this wig because her hair is not growing fast enough. And wearing the wig is probably stunting your hair growth. It's quiet as kept, especially when it's just under there. Come on now.
It looks like more of a hygiene problem than I've ever seen. You need to hit up Stormy for some Canvas Beauty, and you need some shampoo. Like, this lady's hygiene is terrible. As far as
You
like what
can
she
tell.
does, you could tell. Like I
You
felt it
can
from the
tell.
screen. Like yeah, it just yeah.
Because when she flipped that wig on in
And I
that
saw all
bathroom,
that sweat and stuff. I said, oh no.
I said, you not go. I mean, you already in the bathroom. If you don't pull a washcloth up out that suitcase, get you some of your bar soap and just, a little sponge bath here and there. You already putting the wig on. I don't understand it, but you know what? Colors do things differently. But she says that I actually felt for her a little bit because she was talking about how she felt like she looked really old. And that's why I was like, oh, you're insecure. Now, the old term beauty's in the eye of the beholder. There's people out there that feel I'm ugly as the dirt. There's people out there that feel the James is ugly as the dirt. There's people out there that feel like you who's listening to me is ugly as the dirt. Beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. But
Yep.
I hate to see people come at their self instead of remembering that beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What works for you may not be someone else's cup of tea. Who James may date could not be like anyone else that he knows and who they would date. Like everyone is different. So I'm like, why are you coming down on yourself? Especially when she said, I look like I'm 52. Good. You're 52 years old and nothing is wrong with that. You 52 years old and you pulling more men, wives, husbands, and all. There's some people who's 22, Lisa. So please be confident.
Right.
Please be confident, especially when you're flying across the damn world. But I get it. But she gets her wig and her outfits together, and I just felt like Lisa was doing too much for love. And the reason I felt that way is because when my husband picked me up from airports in the past, not a lick of makeup. I look as homeless as I can be, and he will love on me and all of that. When we had COVID, I was sick as hell, could barely wash and wipe my ass. He just had to see what he had to see. Marriages, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poor, these are the reason these things matter. How we look when we present ourselves to the world is not how we look when we at home. Now, eventually you're going to have to take that wig off to be with him. And this lady talking about keeping the wig on at all times, keeping her makeup done, all this crazy stuff. And I'm just like, you're not going to be able to keep up with that. So I feel like you're doing too much for love. You should be able to show up naked, just naked and afraid, like the show, and be
Yep.
accepted by your partner. That's my
Yep.
opinion. I don't know if you felt differently with that. You agreeing, but
No, I don't feel differently. I feel like to me, he's gonna have to not see this at some point. You can't keep the wig on when he's sleeping and put it back on. And he's gonna have to see this. Like that when y'all cause he looked like, and I know we ain't got there yet, but he looked like he a rowdy good time in bed. That shit is gonna flop off your head right in the middle of it. So I don't understand why you would even care at this point. He don't care. He trying to. Well, she don't know this yet, but we know he trying to get to America by all means necessary. So man, that wig and your body and your look and the wrinkles, he don't care nothing about that right now. I'm just saying, y'all. He don't. That man don't care about that shit. That man finna ride this wave as long as he can. Sorry, not sorry.
my bad, y'all. I was figuring out see, I have a husband and you have to feed them sometimes. And then the light that was in my house, I don't know if y'all noticed, I was just a blob of teeth. So I had to turn the light on, all these crazy things. I'm also in between equipment, so I'm streaming from where I'm streaming from. But yeah, Lisa's doing too much for the man. Not much happened with him this episode. He did they met up. She said, oh my God, he devoured me. He did devour her.
He did.
I mean, the way that he kissed her is how my man kissed me when he's like, yeah, you might have to bend it over later or something. Like the way that he kissed her, I was not expecting that. Now, this is the couple I do feel like he's using her not for money or anything, but I feel like he's using her in the aspect of she's fulfilling boxes that he needs to check.
Yes.
So that he can give in to what his mother wanted for him, which his mom said she wanted him to marry a white woman. But at the same time, he's also found an easy ticket into America.
Mm-hmm.
At time of filming and when who was not in office. But I don't know. They're weird. I'm glad that he kissed her like that. But then it was how he kissed her, and then when they was outside, how he bit his lip looking at her. Like, I was like, are you really turned on? Sorry, side note, Daniel, you cute. But
Yeah, you definitely my type. So like there is no question about it. Like for me, I was like, damn, I wish he went the other way. I really did because I slid in them DMs. Trust me. But what I'm saying is it's like for me, I don't see the appeal to her. I'm not trying to say she's ugly or anything. I don't see the appeal.
she could
Not
be his. Come on now.
no, she could be his mama. Like to
Yeah,
me, it may be mama issues, because that could be it too. If mama wanted him to marry a white woman, it could be mama issues. I don't know. Maybe he finds comfort, but I find it really odd. And I told Mrs. Vestas, I find it really odd that he would wait till he was age 39 to do this. I found that very
he probably getting to a point where he don't know if he'll ever be able to leave. He's probably getting to that point because it takes a long time if you're doing it without the K-1 visa, the 90-day stuff. It takes a very long time to get citizenship on your own, especially to this country and from Africa. It takes a very long time.
no. I get all of that. But what I'm saying is that I have met men in Florida specifically who have done exactly what he's doing, but they were much younger. That's why I was like, I really want to know his backstory.
That's what I'm saying. When he explained his backstory, the family growing up poor, all the stuff, I feel like he stayed out there and wanted to live his life in his culture, but I feel like he may have realized like it's just maybe it's something quality of life. All I know is they're an odd couple. I hope to see them on 90 Day Fiance.
I hope so too. I really want
to. If they put them on there, I will cover 90 Day Fiance, the actual art series. Absolutely.
And like I tell you all the time, that was interesting to look at. That really was. That kind of, I wish Nigeria thought differently about my type. I really do, because I would definitely go to that country.
Honey, that don't mean nothing. I'll say this: if you could find a Jamaican that swing your way, you can definitely find a Nigerian that swing your way.
True.
That's the truth. They may not be as open about it, but we could take a trip to Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, wherever you want to go.
Wait, hold on. What you just said. Let's back up a minute.
Oh Lord!
If they're open about it, I have went through that twice where they were not as open with that, and it left me to not be claimed. So I cannot go through that again. I'm sorry. That is one of my boundaries. I'm newly single. If those of y'all who do not know, I am newly single. And I'm unpacking a lot of things with this last relationship, like I did my other relationship. Y'all, I've been engaged 3 times in the last 7 years. All of them have something in common. They were either very private, did not want people to know about them, or, really wanted to stay discreet in the house. I am somebody, I don't give a fuck. Either you know or you don't. And I don't care if you know. So it's like, so I can't go through that. Sorry.
Yeah, that's hard though. Just dating same sex, especially being Black. It's hard to find people that are.
It is, but
you just got.
I want to believe the opposite of that. I do. I want to believe the opposite. I want to believe that there's some that just don't give a fuck.
There is someone out there, but you're gonna have to date a few people before you get there. This is why some of the stuff that we are working on so that we can have these conversations. But yeah, you gotta just always think of this. You ain't been dating them that long. You just have not. Imagine dating them for over 20 years.
Yeah, 2027 will make 10 years. So yeah, I haven't been dating them long.
Yeah, it's not that long. You just got to give it time. It's like starting over again, except you're not in high school and figuring out and doing all that stuff. Be graceful with yourself. Gracious.
I said, I got one more Black man today before I go to white. So y'all better get it right.
Do whatever you gotta do. My younger sister is like that.
I don't want to give up that easily. I don't want to give.
A lot of people look at her like, why you do that? She'll tell you she tried. You go wherever you find love. Go and date.
I got one more left in me. I got one more Black left in me before I go to the other colors. I do. I got one more Black left in me.
You might have 2. You never know.
No, after this Black. If it don't work out this time, I'm done with Black men. Yeah, I'm sorry. I gave y'all 3 chances. My last 3 men have been Black. I gave y'all 3 chances. Y'all don't want to act right. So No, I'm not gonna say it like that. They, you know,
I
they were
just say
fine.
date the hell you can find that make you happy. That's all I want for you.
James
And if I'm squinting,
out of
y'all,
my dance.
I cannot find my glasses right now, so I am squinting, looking at my notes. So apologies. We're gonna get into Jovan and Anna, Anna Lynn, however you say her name. But Anna, we learn Anna is the person in the Philippines. Her and Jovan are already married. They've been married for 3 years, together for 6 or 7. They've been together for a minute. They're full of drama because Jovan got friends he shouldn't have. It sounds like Jovan got that old ignorant Southern viewpoint that a lot of men have. My wife just needs to comply, obey. No, you got to give her a reason to. But we learned that Anna lives next door to her mom. Her mom runs a little store. She went to college for mass communications, and she was a hard worker. She says that she only stopped working because of Jovan. She described it as, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but she described it as she was working full time. Jovan is here in America. My sister is actually in the Philippines right now on a 3-week trip. Follow Naima Travels on TikTok. But she's there right now. She texted me Happy New Year's on New Year's Eve at 5 p.m. No, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. my time. So they are way ahead of time. The time difference is crazy. I will be in Bali later this year. And I actually, when booking this trip, was like, oh my God. So even though I'm checking out on this date, I have to put my checkout day for a day after and put my plane date for the day before, like all this stuff because of the time difference, right? So I do understand her struggling to deal with the time difference. But why would you quit your job? They don't have night shift in the Philippines, girl. Like you could have been working nights and talking to him then and then sleeping during your days when he sleep and it could have worked out. Like why did you have to quit altogether? So I thought that was an odd thing. But she says she survives because Jovan gives her $400 to $500 a month, which may not sound much if we're thinking of American dollars. Like, honey, you've barely covered a car payment in America. But if you are in the Philippines, she can do a lot with that and it goes very far. She's got her own place. She's paying her bills. She seems to have an okay life. And that's the thing I love about other countries. Like they will have a great quality of life, have happiness, love, and all of that with so little. It makes you like think like we're lucky to have what we have, but then also what we have kind of keeps us from connecting and appreciating small things. Not to get all philosophical, sorry. But I thought that was interesting. She talks to her mom. Her mom seems sweet. She reminded me of every Filipino mom and daughter here in the Bay Area. When I say that is everybody me and James went to school with, is her mom was sweet. They're very opposite. But her mom is concerned because Jovan and Anna have not resolved anything. He owes her an apology, his passcode, and location. The way that he moves, he owes her all of that. But of course, he's not going to do that. So he does come to the Philippines. She has on a dress and some heels and did her best to look pretty for him, and she looked adorable. She ran to him. He was just like walking up, like, "What's up? Like, you're not gonna hug your woman?" So I rewinded it and watched it a few times because I didn't like what he was doing. And I realized he was checking her out before showing excitement to greet her, which tells me that the physical is all this man cares about. Because I was like, why are you not excited to see your spouse?
It's not only that, it's like you have a lot of pictures, images, y'all FaceTime. You act like you've never seen this lady before.
He did.
Like,
it was weird.
Yeah, it was like, okay, this is giving very like a lion looking at prey. Like, what are you trying to do here?
He's weird. Something about him is just off. But I was also thinking, if not him checking her out to make sure the physical, I feel like maybe his guilt. They do go to a hotel together. He took his shoes off and he was so musty. I saw the camera move a little bit. She had to bring it up. And his feet smelled terrible because he was wearing boots for 33 hours. He said he flew 33 hours to the Philippines, which means he must have hit every connection that one could hit on a flight from where he flew out from. But he was like, I flew 33 hours. I wasn't able to shower. Boo baby. Talking about, hey, boo. Checking her out when your feet funky. Let me explain something to you. When you travel in the airport, there are showers, especially if you're in an international airport. You may have to pay a couple dollars to use it, but there are showers. They are especially common in airports throughout Asia. For those who travel, you can literally take a shower. They'll have it in the bathroom. Some of them don't even charge you. So I don't understand why you would travel so far without at least doing a sponge bath. If you're in boots, change your socks, bro. If your feet smell like that, I know they have to feel a little pasty up on the sole of the shoe. Change your socks. Or like she said, who travels that far now? When I travel on my flight that I just came back from, we just left the country in November. It was a 10 hours of travel. I wore slides with socks. I want my feet protected, clean, but I also want them to be able to get air and ventilate. My husband wore slides. And when we came back, we wore Crocs and slides, easy shoes that are breathable. You don't just be walking through the airport smelling all kind of way 33 hours without trying to wash your ass. My nigga, you ain't have a baby wipe? Something?
Right.
Sorry, James. That really bothered me. But basically, they end up doing the do. She hadn't had sex in over a decade, so she's obviously committed and faithful to him. She did make him take a shower. They got into bed together. We'll see more with them next week, but I know it's going to be a shit show with these two. I don't think they're going to make it. How you feel though?
They're definitely not going to make it. I don't even question that. Like, because listen, one thing I will give that lady, she may be crazy, but she ain't stupid.
That's
so,
right.
I don't feel like she's really
crazy. I don't think she's crazy. I think she is extremely extroverted, is extremely spunky. I don't think she's crazy. I think the craziest thing she's done is move her life around so much for him. But I think she's coming from a good place. But I don't think she's crazy. She went to school. She understands communication. She knows what to do. She was independent on her own. I think she's just like a lot of women, just foolish and in love and blinded right now.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
But like, to me, honestly, if I had all that going for myself and I'm with some man who came and afford to see me after we'd been together all this fucking time and COVID has ended, no, you're crazy for sticking with that. Because
now that's the part I agree with.
Yeah, no, to me, this should have been happening. We shouldn't have had a television show be able to help sponsor us to get us to where we need to be. We should have been had this done a long time ago. So, and the fact that you won't get another job and working at them old folks home, which ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm saying nothing's wrong with that, but for him to complain about the money he gets and everything, and that was a valid moot point for him, when he only 2 hours from Atlanta, and he can go work him a job at a factory, all them factories in Atlanta. Come on, like, no, there's no excuse for this. I'm sorry.
There's jobs available where he lives. He seems like the type of man that just don't want to do it. He don't want to get his hands dirty. I don't feel like he would do that. He seemed like a man where if he had a factory job in his town in front of him, he would not do it. I don't think he want to do that type of work.
Maybe, but I don't know. I'm just saying, for me, it might be that, but it's just like there's so many red flags for him that I feel like, for me, based on how smart she is, she should have picked up on that. But that's one of those things where in their culture, they're taught to value men no matter what they come with.
Mm-hmm. She picked up on it. She's just, like you said, it's probably a cultural thing. She's accepting it. But I think the nigga's lazy. I just do. I really just believe that in my heart. There's a lot of options that he has. He don't seem like he want to do them. And the comment he made when we first met him about, American women always make money. I don't make too much money. Honey, you have a job. And if you poll women or look at them little pop the balloon things, a lot of times women just want to see that you have a job and can do for yourself. It's not always about making the most money, because the way the economy is anyway, it takes 2 incomes to survive. And if you ain't got 2 incomes, you do it the best you can. So I don't know. He's weird, but we'll come back to it. I feel like everything about him is toxic. I feel like he's manipulative and he doesn't present himself as who he really is when you first meet him. So I'm just going to keep watching Jovan.
I agree.
Laura and Bir Khan, they are running around in Turkey together. Now, the last time we saw them, there was some awkwardness. He had nothing much to say. He was just happy to have a home for a week, as quiet as it's kept, because he couch surfing. But Laura gives us an update the next day. I really like her. Like, personality wise, she's the type of chick I would probably kick it with and enjoy. But every friend I have that's like her is in situations like hers with dating or makes questionable decisions. But her personality is delightful. You could tell she's probably a nice person who just makes really bad dating decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But she says she attempted to have a conversation with Birkan after going to bed. Things didn't go well. She explained it to him, and she says they ended up making out, but it didn't seem like they had sex, which is fine. I actually think it's okay to take your time with sex, but in situations like this, I feel like they should just jump into it. I really do.
You okay? So I was actually going to say that you took the words. I feel like no, this is a situation for them to figure out if they're sexually compatible because time is not of the essence. It's not like she's there to live. So, and as I said, I'm unpacking a lot in my personal life, and I actually can connect with her. This one, I did not have a lot of physical intimacy with my last partner. I just didn't. It just was never there for him as much as it was for me because, and I don't know if it was attraction. I don't know what it was for him. I don't really, now I don't, it's not my business anymore. But for me, like, it was there 110% for me. It was 100%. Like, I never get a man that I'm not physically attracted to. Just never. It just does not happen. You gonna have at least 2 or 3 things I need for you to have in order for me to have an attraction to you. So I think for him, I don't think he's attracted to her at all. I don't think she's what he was expecting. And I feel like for her, there is a part of her that does come off a little bit desperate.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Because you have, like we said in previous week, you have a man at home that you really could
commit.
that he won't commit, but I feel like he wants her to appease him in ways where it's like kissing his ass, and I wouldn't do it either. But I wouldn't have went to this extreme either. Like I'm sure there's plenty of men in Vancouver.
I think a lot of times people who are looking for love have probably found it but are too picky and worried about things on list. And I think Chili is a good example of that from TLC. It took her a
Yeah.
minute. It took her a minute. And men kept saying the same thing. You're too picky. You have too many expectations stuff. I think something you said is profound. Be attracted to a person. Maybe have 1 or 2 things that are necessary that you are not willing to compromise on. But don't be expecting them to have this credit score, this amount in their bank account, also be this kind, be this about like all these different things could be much. Laura and Birkan, I agree with you. I just don't think there's much of an attraction. I feel like she knows it, but is looking for other ways. Honey, ain't no way. If I go make out with my husband right now, he gonna tell me to turn the live on and it's gonna have to off and it's gonna have to go somewhere else. Like if you're attracted to somebody generally and they're attracted to you, like things maybe should go further. And the fact that it didn't, even with the cameras not being there, lets me know like he really not that interested. And he had like a smug look on his face too when we ended the last episode and he sat there watching TV while she went to bed. Like, yep, I'll just wait for her to sleep and I won't have to share. Like he gives that. But the next morning she goes to a plastic surgeon because she has lost over 140 pounds on her own. Shout out to you, Laura. That is incredible and takes so much self-discipline. But she's lost a lot of weight. And what happens with a lot of people who are severely obese when they lose weight, there's a lot of skin left over. And as quiet as it's kept, skin removal surgery is extremely expensive. And yes, your insurance will cover your bariatric surgery and then say no to your skin removal surgery. It happens all the time. And it's often cheaper to get it done in another country, which we did see. Now she goes to the surgeon. They're playing with implants. Everything's okay. And then they pull her into a room and it looks like they were doing the 3D panoramic pictures, which is common in practitioners' offices. They put the pictures onto a screen in the office to go over her problem points with her, which is common in plastic surgery if you've ever watched any show on plastic surgery. The problem is he did this around Birkan on the second day of them being together. And it's already awkward. And this man put a big picture of Laura's fat on the screen, loose skin. And I felt for her because I could tell she was embarrassed. I don't know the laws in Turkey. Like, I would have asked him, hey, thanks for taking me. Can you wait outside or chill at a coffee shop? I'll call you when I'm done. I'm not bringing nobody in with me for stuff like that. Like, that is embarrassing. So I do feel and understand and empathize with her for that. Now, Beercon's face, TLC, you ain't shit. And we know you ain't shit from Mary's documentary, but we really know you ain't shit because they zoomed in on Beercon's face. First, they zoomed in on her belly. Then they zoomed out and into his face looking at it. And I respected you, Beercon, because you did what you could to keep a straight face. You did what you could, but I could tell that that was bothersome for him.
Yep.
Because he looked uncomfortable. Now, to the happy part, they said they do that surgery for $7,000. Anesthesia, medication, all of that. Let me get to Turkey and see how the black mortality rate is with surgeries, and let me see what I could figure out, because that was cheap as hell. That same surgery in America is probably over $80,000.
Yeah, it is.
And that's just for them to do it. Yeah. You're gonna have to pay more when it comes to your medication, recovery, aftercare, all of that. So good deal. I'm not mad at her for doing this, but you could tell she was embarrassed and not confident. So she tells us she's not confident that Beercon is physically attracted to her, which I feel like is normal when you're insecure, new to your body, and she's also meeting someone for the first time. So I get that. He did okay with the reassurances. All I'm going to say is it was good that he told her that she was gorgeous and he's not going nowhere. And he also acknowledged the effort that she put in to lose weight. But for a second there, it seemed like he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I think that this is a good example of how you should reassure your partner when someone is down. Like if someone's saying, I feel ugly, I feel fat. He said, you know, you're gorgeous. I'm not going anywhere. And you were fat, but look at all the work you did. So he acknowledged her, but it just felt really rehearsed to me. And I could not tell if it was him digging into his philosophical brain for some type of quote to give to her, or if he genuinely just is the type of guy who's like, okay, damn, I may need a place to stay, but I don't want her to just be sad. I don't know what it is because it's hard to read him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just, that'll be my opinion. I'm going to wait till I see more of Beercon. How do you feel about him and her and the doctor?
I feel like you, I feel like he shouldn't have been there. That's one. Because you're not her husband. You don't need to see that. So, you know. Do I think it changed the element of how he saw her? No. I feel like he already had that thought way before it. So I don't feel like that picture or that video did anything. As far as her insecurities to it, I did feel for her as well, because there is, you know, deep down, she still sees who she was versus who she is. I do think that that was another reflection that even though she's lost the weight, she still can't unsee who she was. And I think that that's just another reminder to prove her mind to be right about who she is. The other thing that I wanted to say as well is that I feel like for me, he's not even trying. That's what I will say. I feel like as far as reassuring her that she's beautiful, I don't feel like he's trying. I think he's doing the bare minimum. And that's acceptable. I feel like if he really was into her and trying, you know what he would actually do? He would tell her this is unnecessary to do. I love you just the way you are.
That's true, but unrealistic. I think
it is unrealistic, but at the same time, if we're talking about somebody, we're talking about love here, right? We're talking about love.
With love, that's unrealistic. That's not going to change my mind. Even with love, that is unrealistic. What people don't understand is when you in love, yes, love should be, oh, well, you don't need it. But you don't have to say that to show love. Sometimes if you recognize that it's something someone wants, just accept it and lean into it, acknowledge their greatness, but you don't have to tell her that she doesn't need it. I think sometimes people expect to hear certain things from their partner. And just because we expect to hear those things and don't hear them doesn't mean that the right thing was not done or said. In his case, he did the right thing and said the right thing. It would have been nice if he added like, oh, you don't need the surgery, but she's still going to want it.
Well, no, still support her, but I support you in what you do. No, I totally get that. But I just feel like for me, I wanted more from him because she already, you can see it on her face. She is so unsure about him. And I feel like this would have been the moment that would have created some sense of validation. Just
That's
some
the
sense
thing.
of it.
Just because people are unsure, it's not up to the person to suddenly make you sure in the way that someone would want. So it's like, okay, he validated her, but that's a part of being in a relationship, in love, in a marriage, and any of that. Sometimes the way that you're validated is not going to be the way that you would want. And in her case, it seemed like she was okay with the validation, but if she wasn't okay with how he consoled her, it's like, well, you don't have much of an argument, lady. He gave you something. Would you rather have gotten something and he make the effort or nothing at all? Especially so soon.
True. Okay, I can see your point in that. True. But I don't. I
If
just feel
you were
like
with somebody for 5 years, then it's like, okay, I get that, because maybe what you need could be detrimental to the relationship. But you're just meeting him, you're having a meltdown. He's been talking to you without the surgery. So that's him showing right there that whether you have it or not, he's still interested in you.
well,
But
remember, he only saw her from the neck up, so it's not like.
she sent full pictures when they would show it. She would send full pictures of herself,
Did
like
she?
selfies. Yes. She showed them. And she spoke about
Okay.
that too when showing them, because she lost so much weight and it was like the first time she was comfortable to do it. So he saw her whole body. I just think the discomfort is what he saw is probably not what he would normally date, if I'm keeping it real. Like, I feel like dude is okay with dating somebody a little bit older, but I just don't feel like in the face. Like, something my husband always says is, you'd be surprised how many men care about your face card. Maybe hers is not for him, maybe it's that, because there's something with him where I do agree with you, there's definitely a lack of attraction.
No, there is, and and it's sad because she's not ugly. So it's like, what are you missing, sir? It's so confusing.
Yeah, it's odd. He's weird. Something about him is odd.
Yeah.
uh but at least we both agreed that child, he rehearsed that shit. Something about it was just disingenuous. That's
Yes.
what it is.
Mhm.
But at least he did the right thing, child. Emma and Ziad. Emma looked a lot like her twin sister this episode. It was the angles they were getting, like close up on her face. I was like, oh, you are a twin. You just put so much makeup on, it's hard to tell. But I was like, they are definitely identical twins when they got right up on her face. Side note, random thought. But she running through the streets of Morocco looking for hair oil, which I would think would be easy to find. If you wear your own hair based on your race, Emma, you might be able to survive the trip without oil. I know that wig probably shedding, and that's why you need it. But okay, girl, I digress. Her and Ziad go for a cooking class, and they talk. And basically, she asks Ziad if his parents know about her. Emma's been suspecting, well, not suspecting. She knows that Ziad's talking to other women. She sees that he's following a bunch of women on social media because she went and did a deep dive and has a way to see what he's doing and all of this stuff. And she saw that he was talking to two women romantically. And instead of confronting him about it, she decides to do this long, drawn out bullshit. So she's asking about parents, and he says, yes, my parents know about you. But when she asks if she can meet them, he's like, no, I'm not ready to introduce you to them. So then she questions him on how many girls he has in America and if he's talking to other women. And he lies based on what she's told us. He lies. Because until I see her receipt, I don't believe her either. Because Emma is also a liar. And I think a lot of people will forget this watching this. Emma has done this shit before, not long ago. This bitch is so much of a liar that she brought a gift from her ex-boyfriend, who was also in Morocco's mama, to Morocco with the new boyfriend, who she got with while she was still with her ex. So Emma's a liar as well. But he answered so quickly all the questions. And I just don't understand why you don't just tell him you found the messages. Why sit there and allow him to keep lying and digging a hole for himself? If you do that for long enough, then you become just as bad as the liar. But we can't expect a liar to handle a liar correctly because they lie.
Yeah.
So, there's that. But they eat. And after they eat, and they make the prettiest meal. I really want to go to a Moroccan restaurant, James, because their food is good. And it's healthy. It's just spicy as hell. But they eat their little food, and this is where she confronts him about the girls that he's following and messaging. And, he denies everything. And he pulled the reverse Uno on her ass and said, but what secrets you got? I said, okay, Zia, give me a show. I'm entertained. He asked her what secrets she had and explained that he doesn't understand why she went ghost when they first met and it's been bothering him. I said, not another Rick and what's her face? I said, oh no. So basically, Zia feels like she's hiding something from him, which she is. He asked her, he was like, you have secrets? And she said, no. I said, bitch, why would you lie? How you gonna question your man about being honest, but in the all in the same breath, you gonna tell a lie? How can you expect honesty from somebody when you're not willing to give it? How can you expect anything from anyone that you're not willing to give?
Right.
Like,
Insane.
Girl, what are you doing?
Insane.
So
Y'all, she is crazy.
She does tell him that she has no secrets, which was crazy. But not my husband in the background talk about lies. But he was a smart man. He pulled another Uno reverse and came at her the way a woman would and said, well, you went ghost. I don't understand this. It doesn't make any sense. Was it just us when we got together? And she's basically saying, no, I was going through a breakup. That's why I ghosted you. He said, so you was with somebody else when we got together. She said, I was going through a breakup. He said, were you with someone else when we got together? I was going through a breakup. So he said, so yes. No, I was going through a breakup. I said, bitch, I'm going to snatch that wig off your eyebrow. Let me tell you something, Emma. If you are talking to someone else, going through a breakup or not, until the act of breaking up is complete, you are talking to someone else while you are with someone else. That is how it works. For those who did not know that, please email or DM me. I'm willing to explain it to you, and I hope that it helps your relationships greatly. But until you're done, you was talking to somebody else when you got with them. If you're on a break from someone and not officially broken up, but on a break trying to figure out if you're going to stay together or not, you are talking to someone else while you're starting something new. It's not till you're entirely done that you are free and single. And I'm tired of people saying that I'm not married, I'm single. That's why less people are getting married. Like, no. So I don't know what that was about, but it looked like he's gonna question her and stuff's gonna pop up on the next episode. How did you feel about Emma and Zihad?
I feel like we're wasting time here. I feel like this is about to be another failed relationship. I don't want to see this lady no more after this shit. Please stop inviting her, or please stop putting her in situations. This is not real. This man does not want her. I don't even think she want him. I just think she want to be on TV at this point.
Right.
Because this don't feel real at all. Like, this doesn't feel like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to roll with her. I really am. But the problem is that she has did this before and is expecting, it's like you're putting just a different picture in the same old frame. It's like, what are you doing? So that's why I said, I don't believe this is real. I don't believe she's serious. I believe he was willing to roll with this, but figured out it was some bullshit. So he's just playing along because what else is he going to do? He can't tell her to go home. So, yes.
I feel like he been known that she started her relationship with somebody else because the guy that she was talking to is in the same city. I feel like he knows what she was doing, but I think she met her match and that they're similar, and he gonna let her keep lying. But something that some people will do, men and women, is like, oh, you want to talk to other people, then I'm gonna talk to other people.
Right.
Oh, you want to lie, then I'm gonna tell a lie. Tit for tat. I feel like they're both doing that. They're 27. They shouldn't be. They should be kind of fading out of that childish stuff. But some people never learn from their dating mistakes. They both get that. But I don't think they'll last. I think they're both full of shit. I think that she's extremely shallow and is not in a place to date anybody. But she ain't gonna listen. I also think if she changes her wig, she might attract some better quality American men. Just saying.
Yeah, because there's plenty of Moroccans in California. So I don't understand.
She lives in LA. She can find whatever she needs. She's just choosing to be difficult, in my opinion. But y'all, that is it for 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. James, did you want to add anything before we go away for this day?
No, it was a great episode. It was giving me all that I needed and more. I will say this: so far, the only couple that I see making it to 90 Day Fiance is Lisa and Daniel. I don't see any
committed.
He's definitely committed, and I feel like she gonna go along with it. You know, just because he has the qualities that she likes, and as someone who likes those same qualities, I understand her. So I feel like they're definitely going to be one that's going to make it to the show. I can't wait to see our couple we have on our postcard here, pillar right here. I can't wait to see those two again to see what happens there. Who else are we missing? That and I do think that Forrest and Sheena are going to make it too. I do. I think they'll make it as well.
I feel like Forrest and Sheena will make it for sure. I do feel like they actually have love, but I also feel like her family is shady as fuck. I just do. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can. We all see that. Until we can see them, we can't say anything different.
Yeah, but I just feel that way. But other than that, y'all, I appreciate people for tuning in. I know the show is newer. I appreciate the people who've been viewing it. Shout out and welcome to the new subscriber. I gained a subscriber, so thank you and welcome. Other things, tomorrow, Boots on the Ground. Love and Hip Hop Miami. We will be recapping that. Boots is supposed to make her debut, though I feel like it'll be like a 5 to 3 minute debut, if that. So we'll be back on my channel tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop Miami. I'm going to aim for a 4 p.m. start time, California Pacific Standard Time. Shit.
It's coming on tonight or tomorrow night?
It comes on Mondays. Coming on tonight.
Okay. I just have to make sure.
That's where I was messing up the last few weeks, because when it used to come on VH1, it was coming on tomorrow. But I just looked at the new episode.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was gonna say Wednesday. I got Dutch's phone. I gotta tell you about.
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's coming on Wednesday. Child, I can't keep up.
Wednesday.
That's what my thing says. It says new episode Wednesday. I don't know what that's about
they
or why.
Just changed that.
Oh, they changed the dates. Yeah, because then the following week is the 14th.
So, okay. Yeah, they changed the date because there was no way that was on a Wednesday. I was like,
yeah, it was coming on a different day. They keep changing stuff. Also, you guys, Salt Lake City comes on Wednesday as well. So we will be back on my channel and James's channel on Thursday to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I also have Housewives of Beverly Hills coming back on the 8th. So we will be live on the 9th for that. Other than that, tap into James's channel. Love and light to everybody. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.